Hey guys, Rusty Nuts and Ratchets Garage here, just doing inner tie rod end on my Supra. I got clunking sound from when I put on the gas and when I steer the wheel back and forth a little, so I got a little bit of help, had somebody wiggle the tire. You can't see what I'm doing, but wiggle the tire, and I looked for where the play was. The play was on the inner tie rod end. I thought it was maybe the outer, which would be much better because of its location, but so basically here's how it goes. The one is mounted up in the car, obviously, and I have my spare power steering rack from my parts Supra. So I have a little setup here. You can get a tie rod end removal tool. I haven't had any luck with them. They usually aren't made of hard enough steel for stuck on tie rod ends, or inner tie rods. And so I have this one here. This is my parts car power steering rack. Pretty good shape, so I kept it. But what I'm going to do, so I've got a pair of vice grips on the part that's not going to go into where the seal is. An inch wrench, I believe, will fit on that. But I didn't have one that was narrow enough, and I didn't feel like grinding one down on the bench grinder because I'm kind of lazy right now. Not for any other reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive this with a hammer, and it's going to loosen that there up and make it easy to install. This one has practically zero play. New ones are about $72 from Rock Auto plus shipping. So I'll show you how I'm going to get this one off, and hopefully I can replicate it underneath the Supra when I get it in here. So I have done this method before on my Subaru because that's how I found out that I don't like the special tool that you use for pulling it. And I found out that a dead blow from I'm just using a 3-pound sled. You can use a hammer, ball peen hammer, any old thing, and you're just going to try and hit that. You can hit there too. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can either hit there. I try to hit just the nut there. You ruin a good pair of pliers, so be it. And I've just got a pipe on this side for a little bit of leverage. So I'm just going to hit it right there. So lucky for me, one shot with the dead blow, and now, let's see if I can. That's pretty well all there is to it. Now, normally there's like a staked in washer for these, but it doesn't look like it for the MK3 Supra. It does look like there might have been a little thread locker on there, so maybe I will put a little on there. And I'm going to clean up the rusty side of this on my bench grinder. So when I get the Supra up, I'll show you, hopefully, an easy time getting it off under there. So we're going to go ahead and break the wheel lugs free before I lift it. Then I'm going to lift the car, block it up properly so it doesn't fall while I'm working on it. The wheel's off now. And I don't think I'm going to have to remove the brakes because I can just hit that with a drift. So just leave the nut on a bit so that way it doesn't strip the threads or mash the end of that tie rod end. And then I'll take that apart at the bench, measure how much threads are left, and then duplicate that when I set it up for the new used shaft, inner tie rod end, that is. So I'll take that all apart. There's probably a band on that boot that needs to come off. It's all greasy and gross under there. So I won't do this on camera. I'll take it all apart. If I'm having any difficulty, I will do it on camera just to show what kind of stuff you'll go through. But who knows, maybe it'll come off easy because everything's greasy as shit under there. So I thought that this might be useful. This one has a constrictor clamp on it. Not a big deal, just I might also have a power steering leak in my rack, but I got a new used one hanging out over there anyway. But I'm just going to address the loose. You can see it's not clunking. like this, but I also don't think that you can make it clunk by just moving it around. Now this one does have one of those, I don't know if it's called a staked in washer or not, but it does have a washer on it. I think I'm just gonna power through and pull it off. And what I'm gonna use, I don't think I can dead blow it with a hammer, but what I'm gonna probably use is my galvanized pipe here and a pair of vice grip. So like I said, just gonna get this baby clamped on there. I think maybe my parts car had that part replaced already, and that's why it's not. That's why that washer's not there. This here washer. Could be wrong. Who knows? Might actually be the rack itself that's loose. Now that I'm doing this. Oh, one way to find out. I'm already here, so it's either that or it's not. Right? Hopefully I can get enough leverage on here with this pipe. Oh, of course not. Okay. So I am gonna go with the dead blow from a hammer, I guess, or try anyway, even though I'm laying right on the floor. So just a warning, it's going to get loud maybe. Not sure if that got it, or it's just twisting the power steering rack. Looks like it's just twisting the rack, which probably is not a good thing. Oh no. Blooper reel. So there you go.